I'm going to be using this beautiful Dragonfly plaque mould today, and I think I'd like to do this two ways, in Magic Pour Eco Resin and also in Epoxy Resin. So we're going to start off with the Eco. This is the Magic Pour by Resin, and it's mixed by a ratio of 3:1. So say 300 powder, 100 water, sorry. So I've got 100 grams of water in there and 300 grams of powder. So I'm going to start by mixing this all together and get that mixed in. And this mixes in really easy. So I'm just going to give that a good stir, scraping around those sides, getting all that powder mixed in. I think my scales might be a bit off. I think I need a little bit more water in there. So I'm just going to add a touch more water to that, not a lot. And then give that another mix. I'm not sure how much this mould takes, to be honest, so I might have to mix up some more. Right, I think that would do. So I'm just going to get this poured in now, and I'm just going to pour it in quite slowly, just so as it gets into all those little details. Let it find its own way in most of it. See if I can get a good base down first, just in case I have to mix up some more. Right, get in there, I think. Will I have enough? Might just be okay, actually. Phew, yes. So this mould takes 300. Right, that was good. Good luck, wasn't it? Right, so I'm just going to give this a little tap. You don't need to tap the living daylights out of this one, I found. Not like some of the eco powders. So I think that will do. I'm going to leave that to cure now, and then I'll see you back for demold. This is all cured up now, so let's pop this one out and see how it's looking. Should come out simple enough. Right, let's have a look. Oh, that's lovely. Detail in that is incredible. Love that. Right, okay, so we're going to pop that to one side to dry overnight, and while that's doing that, we can move on to the resin one. So for the resin one, I'm going to be using the Chimpish Crafts holographic chameleon range. So I've got the turquoise pink, purple magenta, green and mauve, copper and gold, rose gold and green, and indigo green fleck. Right, so I think I'm going to start with the let's start with the turquoise pink. Just open that up out of the way and get a brush, and I think I'm going to do the Dragonfly first in this one. So I'm just going to burnish this into this mould, and while I'm doing this, I will just mention that today's video is part of the friendship train with myself and Susie from Serendipity Resin Creations, and Tina from Pour Resin with Love, and Amy from Resonating Art by Amy M. And every once a month we do a theme for the friendship train, and you're more than welcome to join in. The one that's coming up next is the what is it, Disney theme, and that's on the 9th of August. And Susie chose the theme for this month, next month actually, because it's her birthday. So that's lovely. But like I say, anyone can join in, and if you'd like to join in, then just drop one of us a message and we can tell you how to go about entering into the little collabs that we do. Right, so that's that bit of the purpley colour one. I'm just going to use this switching sponge and get that off of there. And I think I might use a different brush actually as well. And what colour should we do the middle? Let's do copper and gold down the centre of the dragonfly. So I'm just going to use what's in the lid. Oh, that's a bit of a naff brush, that one. Let's try a different one. And pop some of that into there. Get that all down there. Get it down into its little tail there. Right, so you probably don't want me to be showing you every single bit of this, so I'll pop you on a quick fast forward, I think, while I'm doing the rest of these colours, and then I'll see you back in a minute. That's as covered as I want it to be, because I don't want it to be like perfect. I know that sounds strange, but I want a lot of the black background to show. So I'm just going to tidy up some of this bit on the bits here that I don't want with some 99% alcohol and a little cotton bud. Just going to clear away some of that. So I'll get this tidied up and get some resin mixed up, and then I'll see you back in a minute. I've mixed up some resin, and I'm just going to add to that some of the decorative resin dye in black. So I'm going to put quite a generous helping of that into there, and then get that mixed in. And then I think because there's so much detail in this mould, I can't spray the mould with any 99% alcohol because of the powders they're put in. So I think I'm going to pop this resin into my vacuum chamber first and get rid of any bubbles. So I'm just going to get this nicely mixed in. Don't forget to scrape around all your sides when you're mixing your pigments and your micas. Right, I think that's looking okay. So I'm just going to pop this in the vacuum chamber and then I'll be back to pour. My resin's nice and bubble free now, so I'm just gonna really slowly pour this into the mould and just let it find its own way into all that little detail in there, and then hopefully that will eliminate any bubbles. So just gonna really slowly pour it. I'll pop you on a little fast forward, I think, because I just want to do this like really slowly. Right, that's all poured in now, and I think I've got a little hair there, so I'm just going to pop that out and then give that a quick torch on the top. Pop any of those bubbles that have come to the surface. Lovely. Right, so we'll leave that to cure, and then I'll just find something to put my leftover resin in, and then I'll see you back in a minute. So while the resin one's curing, I've got some black Pebeo black gesso, and I'm just going to coat all of this one in this black paint. So getting that into all those little nooks and crannies, and get this one painted. So while I'm doing this, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to all my subscribers, and thank you to all my new subscribers I've had lately. I do really appreciate every single one of you, and thank you all ever so much for all the support that you show me. I do really appreciate that, all your likes and comments, and hitting that like button. It does help our channels to grow, because YouTube then puts it out for more people to see, so that's really appreciated. Thank you ever so much. And also thank you to all the super thanks and the buy me a coffees that you've sent me, and any money that I do get from anything like that does go straight back into my channel, and it helps me to purchase new items to bring to you and show you, and new moulds. So really grateful for that. Thank you ever so much. So I'm just going to carry on painting this, and then once this is all covered and painted, I'll be back, and then we can carry on with the next bit. This is all dry now, and I've got a selection of some gilding waxes. I've got some silver and gold. I've got a couple of blues, a purple, green, and a bronzy red colour. So I'm going to start off with the I think I'll start with the gold, and I'm just going to use my finger for this bit. Just going to put a little bit on my finger and then brush that over the wings of the dragonfly and down his little, whatever you call that bit, spine bit. Right, I think that's all I want to do with the gold. And then with the silver, I'm just going to take a brush and just get like a really small amount on there, and then just lightly brush that over all the rest of that detail there. Just doing a gentle little dry brush over all those areas. A little bit more on there, wipe off the excess. You can always build it up if you want more, so you want to be careful not to have too much on your brush when you're doing the dry brushing. Right, so I think that's enough I want to do for the silver. Maybe a bit round the frame. Just going to put some round there. Highlight that a bit. Right, so that's all my silver done. Let's just put a little bit on that bit there. There we go. Oh, and I think I need to do a bit of the gold on, if I can get down into those little bits there for his legs. And I think that's the leg there and down there. Right, that's him done. So next I want to add a bit of colour to the dragonfly. So I'm going to use this blue. Again, I'm just going to use my finger and just wipe off the excess. And I'm just going to add a little touch of colour here and there to the dragonfly, just on his wings with that blue. So pop that one away for a minute. And then I think I also want to add a bit of purple. So let's just get a little bit of purple on my finger and add a bit of purple to that. Right, let's just put a bit on the tips there, I think. A bit more on that bit. Right, so that's the purple. And I think with the deeper blue, I think I want to highlight some of the flowers. So again, just a bit on my finger. And then I'm just going to brush over these flowers here. That one there. And the rest of these ones. Some of these around the edges as well. And I think I'll do that flower in a different colour. So let's just get that on some of there. Is that all my flowers? Yes. Right, so that's that one done. Pop the lid back on that. And then I think with this one down here, I'm going to use this colour. Just pop a bit on my finger there. Let's use that finger. And then just highlight that flower in the red. Lovely. Now, so that's that one done. And then lastly, I'm going to use the green. Get most of that off my fingers. And shall I use the brush? Let's use the brush for the green. Just pop some of that on that brush there. And then I'm just going to highlight over this last little bits with the green. Again, just brushing off any excess onto the cloth. So I'm just going to carry on doing this around the green. Oh, I need to do that flower there. Just adding a little touch of that to them. A bit down there. Oh, that one there. Those bits there. A little bit on that bit there. Some down there. Right, so that's the green. Just do that bit there. Right, what blue did I use for this one, I think, wasn't it? So just pop a bit more of my blue on there. Do that flower there. And those two there. That one there I missed. Right, okay, so that's all I want to do. Let's just put a little bit more of that blue just on the tips there. Okay, so that's how it's looking at the moment. Right, let's put all these away. So next I've got some top coat in UV nail varnish, and you could just use basic UV for this, but I think with this brush it's just going to make this easier just to highlight these wings. So I'm going to put some of that on there first. Just a nice thin layer on both sides. So I've done that one as well. Just put a bit more on the brush there. And then to give these a bit of sparkle, I'm going to use the 200 mesh in the Super Sparkle White from Tracy at Mini Scenes GB. And I'm just going to pop a little bit in, oops, a little bit of that into my hand. That's probably too much. And then just pinch that and sprinkle that over those wings. Give that a little bit of a shimmy shimmy. Right, I think that's probably enough. She says, carrying on. Right, let's just get rid of that in my hand. And then I'm just going to cure that, because the nail polish is just the same as like UV. You do have to cure it. So I'm just going to give that a cure for a couple of minutes. So that's all cured now. And that's how that's looking, with a little bit of sparkle there. So I'm just going to take a clean brush and just wipe away any of those excess bits of the Super Sparkle. Tidy that up. So that's that one all done. Right, so let's have a look at this one now. This one's cured. So let's pop this one out, pop that to one side. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Like that. So I think I'm going to do the same with the wings on this one, and just add some of the nail polish and the Super Sparkle. So I'll just quickly do this, because you don't need to see me doing this twice. So I'll do this and then pop back. These are both finished now. So this is the resin one with the Toompish powders. And I love how that butterfly wings are like nice and shiny. I think it just sets it off from the rest of the make. Yeah, so that's the resin one. And then this is the one with the Eco, the Magic Pour, and the gilding wax. And that's how that one's looking. Love that. So you could either drill holes probably in each corner and hang them like that, or you could put like a little hanging clip on the back. But I've made a couple of stands for them. So there's that one there, and these are out of Magic Pour, so that can stand on there like that. And then the same for that one, so that will sit nicely on there like that. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and stay tuned for the pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.
Oh, so free. Me and my husky on the open sea. Resin molds and hand light as a breeze, creating treasures with such ease. Waves are rocking softly, makes me smile. Colors swirl and blend in endless style. Sunshine through the window sets a scene. Houseboat life is like a living dream. Houseboat dreams where art and love combined, drifting through the days with peace of mind. With my husky by my side and rising, oh so fine, in this floating studio where dust, we chase the silver light. Husky howls with joy, it feels so right. Once the resin sets, our pieces glow. Each one tells a story you should know.